All right, thanks for being here. If you have listened to this show for any length of time, you know how much I love organizations that just do great work, that just do the right thing. We've all been watching the devastation in California, in the LA area. These fires have done so much damage. It's almost unbelievable when we watch this. Like we're watching something that's been done by AI. The reality is there are so many people that have been displaced. They've lost everything. And there's a lot of criticism, and I think it's fair sometimes to criticize, but we all know that there is still humanitarian efforts that have to happen. Our friends over at St. Mary's Food Bank jumped on board with We Love LA, and Jerry Brown joins us now. It's always good to talk with you, Jerry.
Nice to be with you, Mike. How are you?
I'm doing well. First of all, tell us what you've done and how you expedited getting some much-needed items into LA. What was it that St. Mary's did?
Well, St. Mary's is a first responder to a lot of disasters. Actually, we're quickly the number one responder when it comes to Arizona disasters. We have floods, fires, all of those things. But we're also one of the largest food banks in the country. We're one of the top 3 or 4 food banks in the country. So we also have a regional reach. So when things happen in the West and the Southwest. So normally food banks for these types of disasters are kind of the second wave. The American Red Cross goes in right away. Things that are on the ground in the cities where things happen, they take care of the initial push, and then they kind of do an assessment as to what they need, and then they reach out to food banks in those areas for what it is they need. So we got the call within a day or two ago that they needed food, water, they needed snacks. These are the kinds of things that are good at evacuation areas, and they're also good to give right to the people that are fighting the fire, the first responders, to have water, to have food that they can open up, easy to reach snacks that they can keep going and eat and drink while they're doing their jobs. So we sent about 35,000 bottles of water yesterday, about 44,000 pounds. It's an entire semi-truckload of water and another truckload of snacks, and sent that off to Los Angeles. That'll be used again in the evacuation centers. It'll also be used to help keep those firemen going, because they not only are there a lot of LA and California firefighters there, but there are Arizona firefighters there. There are people from Mexico, Canada. They've brought in as many people as they can to not only fight the fires that are here, but to tamp it down as these winds continue.
Jerry Brown's with us from St. Mary's Food Bank. So does this diminish your ability, or does it put a dent in your ability to serve this community? Is this hurting your supplies here and the work you have to do with our community?
Absolutely. I mean, snacks are something that we can afford. We do have extra of those, and it's not 110 in Phoenix right now. So the water is something that we can spare. Our partners at Niagara has a large bottling plant here. They were able to help us out with some of that, but that eats into our supplies. So if folks do want to help, and there are some people that, they want to send right to where it goes. They send a check to the Red Cross. They send a check right to LA. That's fantastic. Do that if you can. But if you can help the folks here at St. Mary's, help us replenish those supplies. If you want to bring a couple of cases of water down, that would really be helpful to our Phoenix or surprise locations, or a $25 donation to St. Mary's Food Bank will provide hundreds of bottles of water and help us get back up to speed, so that when water becomes a problem here, it's not so much when it's 60 degrees and 30 in the morning, but when we know those 100-degree temperatures are right around the corner, and that's something that we need, and we can keep it on hand, and it's very important for us to have a good supply of water for everyone.
Yeah, and the other thing, I talk about it, I know you talk about it a lot, but your ability to be so frugal and so efficient with money, the cash donations actually go so far because you're able to purchase, 5 meals for $1. So if somebody's able to jump online and donate, you can then take that dollar. Again, bringing down a donation is always great, but if they donate the cash, you really stretch that dollar.
Absolutely. And what you pay for water at the grocery store now is not what you pay in June and July for water. It's really cheap, but we can get it for even cheaper prices. We have buying power when you buy it in bulk. When you buy it by the SUV load, it's one price. When you buy it by the semi-truck load, it's a different price. So we can stretch your dollar and make sure that the donations that you do make to St. Mary's Food Bank and these other organizations go as far as you possibly can.
Yeah, I'm going to donate today. St. Mary's Food Bank, stmarysfoodbank.org is the website. Also, the other thing I talk about in your efficiency is your ability to squeeze every minute out of every donated hour. And I know that this time of year, the need for volunteers, because we know during the holidays it's in the front of everyone's mind, but this time of year you could sure use the help, couldn't you?
Absolutely. November and December, we get a huge amount of people come to the food bank, 200, 300, 400 at a time for volunteer shifts. And we not only build food during that time for the food that's necessary at that time. As you said, we try to make the use of every hand and every hour that we have. We build up a buffer of food boxes that we know that when we go into the year, that we have extra food boxes that we can distribute at that time. The problem is we're seeing 1,700 families a day at our Phoenix and Surprise locations daily, every day. I'm just driving by our location right now, and the line is out into the street. So that buffer is going down quickly. Yes, on Friday we had 15 volunteers to build food boxes. Yesterday we had people come out of all of their offices at the food bank to build all the food boxes, which we're happy to do. We enjoy doing it. We have a good time, but it's taking away from the jobs that we're supposed to be doing, feeding folks. And the volunteers are really the lifeblood. We can't do this program without volunteers. So if you have the opportunity to volunteer, if you did during the holidays, you didn't during the holidays, if you have that chance before the schools get back online and we're able to, and some of these businesses, it usually picks up again in late February, March. But January and early February, we were really hurting for volunteers. We have shifts that start at 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. Tuesday through Friday. They last about 2 hours. If you work during the week, there are Saturday shifts at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. 8 a.m. and noon. On Saturday, you can come down and help out. And there's also across the street where we're actually distributing those food boxes. We need help doing that. So if you have an opportunity, go to stmarysfoodbank.org or give us a call at 602-242-FOOD. Say you're interested in volunteering, whether it's 2 people, 20 people, 200 people. We can that want to do a takeover of our production facility. It's fantastic to come out and do it right now, and it's really needed right now. These next few weeks are going to be critical for us to make sure that we keep up with the demand.
Yeah, and just let me give a shout out to how you guys do things. For anybody that's never been down to pack the boxes, it is such a fun experience because you know you're doing great work. It's an assembly line, and you are actually watching the fruits of your labor in these pallets and pallets and pallets of food boxes being filled. But they play music, and people are laughing, and we're having a good time. They really create an atmosphere where it's not wasted time. You are working and you're doing great work. But at the end, you get to see all these boxes that you've packed. You've done something good in your community. If you're able to volunteer, please go to the website, stmarysfoodbank.org. You can donate cash there, but if you're able to donate some time, this time of year, they sure could use it. Jerry, I love what you do. I'm going to donate myself today, and I'm going to keep encouraging people to do it, and we'll see if we can't get you to get some volunteers down there as well.
Thanks, Mike. And from everybody at St. Mary's Food Bank, our hearts go out to everybody in California. Everybody knows somebody here who's been affected by that. We have such an incredible relationship between Arizona and California. So our hearts go out to them, and I'm sure that we'll be getting calls for more help, and we'll be here to help them.
Amen. Thank you so much, Jerry.
Take care, Mike.
All right, that's Jerry Brown, St. Mary's Food Bank, stmarysfoodbank.org. You can sign up to volunteer. You can donate some money. You could do both. I hope you will.
Thanks for watching the Mike Broomhead Show. Catch up on Amazing Arizonans, a KTAR News podcast, and click the button in the middle to subscribe.